Welcome everyone to the 2020 virtual Change of Watch for Division 3. I have some technical stuff set up here, so if something goes wrong, it's just the way it is, and I'll try to fix it as best as I can. So I have a bunch of things going on behind the scenes here, including my son auxiliarist Justin Barnes is he's technically directing behind the scenes today. So first, some house rules. I will be muting all microphones. There could be well over 100 viewers on today's meeting. So for the sake of others, please remain muted. Our speakers this afternoon can unmute themselves when giving their presentations. If there are any issues, please send a note through the comments section and Justin will let me know what's going on. So I don't have to say it, but it's been quite the year for all of us. Everyone has had experienced some sort of fundamental change in our lives over the last many months, whether it's career, finance, health, or just dealing with the everyday stressors. It's been a challenge. And speaking of health, there are many of us right here in our division that are going through some very difficult times. And we're not just talking about COVID. If you noticed, our district captain, Bob Sherman, is not with us today. He's been very ill lately, and it's been very disheartening to many in our division because he's always been a mentor and we miss his phone calls and his emails. Nevertheless, we're here for him and his family, and that reminds us that we are all family through the good times and the bad. So now allow me to make some introductions of our Coast Guard family. We have the A list between the active duty side and the auxiliary. So first, I'd like to introduce Captain Joanne Burdian, Sector Miami Commander. It's an honor to have you with us, and we're really excited to hear your keynote address. Next, we have Commander John Briggs. He is our District 7 Director of Auxiliary and will be offering his final remarks of the meeting. Oh, and let me remind you all that we have some very special awards being presented this afternoon by both the Captain and the Commander. We also have with us Lieutenant Raymond Milne, the Commanding Officer of Station Fort Lauderdale. Next, we have Deputy National Commodore Gary Barth, who will be speaking with us in just a moment, as well as our newest District Commodore, Pat McMenamin. Well, that's quite a group, but before we get underway, I'd like to ask Auxiliary Unit Coordinator Robert Etheridge to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hey everybody. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Etheridge. I'll scroll down a little bit here on my prompter. All right, now I'd like to have our very own chaplain, Richard Braswell, give an invocation.
Let's pray together, if you will. Almighty God, we pray now for Bob Sherman. We pray that you'd be with him. We thank you for his life. We thank you for his smile. We thank you for his heart. We pray that you be with Stacy and other members of his family. Please help him to know that he's loved and he's cared for. Be with the doctors and nurses and those that care for him. We pray, Lord, you give him strength and courage, and we thank you for him and for his life. And tonight we thank you for this change of watch ceremony. We pray for those who have been chosen to lead. We ask you to give them wisdom as they care for those in their command. We congratulate them and those who will receive awards, knowing that those awards are well-deserved and definitely earned. Thank you for the Coast Guard Auxiliary and the privilege we have to serve our communities and support the mission of the men and women of the Coast Guard. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chaplain. Our opening remarks today come from someone we all have come to know over the last few years as the District Chief of Staff and the District Commodore, and now one of the Deputy National Commodores. Commodore Gary Barth has been serving United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and continues to do so in the best traditions of the Coast Guard. He has been a rock star in our district, and I'm sure will do the same in National. I'm proud to introduce our opening speaker, Commodore Gary Barth.
Jeff, thank you for the kind words. This, again, we're living in such unusual times. Who would have thought last year with the wonderful change of watch you had that we'd be having to do everything virtual this year? It's just amazing what has transpired within the last several months, and it doesn't look like it's going to go away anytime soon. With this pandemic, however, you're still working actively and you're ready to do things and assist the Coast Guard and the auxiliary whenever called upon. You do a great job of supporting Fort Lauderdale, the station, and the active duty personnel, and also the auxiliaries within the area. When the active duty personnel had problems not receiving paychecks a while back, you stepped right in, provided not only monies, but food and everything else, helping them out. You didn't let anything shut you down. Recently, you ended up making face masks, providing those for not only active duty, but for also auxiliaries, which in this time is very much needed. Then we find out we have NACON canceled, our D train, which we thought we were going to be able to have, it was canceled. And as everyone should have heard by now, that N train in this year in St. Louis has been canceled also. And the National Commodore, Alex Molesky, wants us to get back to normal as soon as possible, but no one has any concept of when that's really going to happen. A couple good things. We do know that everyone was so worried about the REYR, going REYR in many of your qualifications, and we were finally able to get that from the BSX, the Chief Director's Office, in writing. And the only thing you could possibly go REYR on is anything that can be done online. So if you have something that needs to get done online, please do that. But the rest of your qualifications, you don't have to worry about going REYR. The PE classes, it's amazing what has been done recently with PE classes. It started out very slow, but most of the people have gotten a pretty good start on doing the PE classes online. And in some areas, they even have a waiting list of like 80 people to take a class. And again, with many of our younger adults, they're much more prone to do things online than they are to go to an actual meeting. So that's helped a whole lot. Even within our own auxiliary, we have had a lot more people attend online meetings, and we have as many times trying to get a quorum for a regular sit-down meeting face-to-face. You've got some good people in the area. You got a whole lot of good people. They're working everywhere. You work well as a team together. I think Bob Sherman was here. He talked about one mission, one team. That's Division III's motto. So you live up to that. You share your talents, you share your facilities, you share everything together, and it's the whole thing. We're not pitting one division or one flotilla against another. We're all part of the big team. We need to continue that, sharing our talents and assets. You're sitting now with about 282 people in the division, which is very good. You contribute at all levels of the organization. When you look at national, you have the Division III people in national, you have them in district, you have them in the division, you have them serving other areas also. The elections this year went very well for virtuals. Everybody was very concerned about how the elections were going to go, but it seemed to be that everything went very smoothly compared to what it could have been. And you've got a lot of good people like David Scott. David has done an excellent job leading the awards team. It's just amazing what he and his team has done. Jane Sadek, she has done a fantastic job with the new Ox data system, which a lot of us are still having a little bit of problem trying to figure that out. And about the time you figure it out, they decided they're going to change something else. And along that same lines, remember that on Monday, that system is going to be down tomorrow for update. Hopefully it'll update the way we want it to. We can't say for certain that's what will happen. Carlos Arenas recently helped redo the District 7 help desk for the commander's office. If you haven't seen that lately, it's cleaned up. It's much more user-friendly, and they've done a fantastic job on getting that done. And they did it for not costing money. Oh, that's the other great big thing. The division, you did quite a few good things. You look at diversity awards this year at our virtual D-Train. Division 3 and 100% of the flotillas received the 3-star NACO Diversity Award. That's fantastic. Congratulations. We hope you do it again next year. Also, we had some other winners in there. Flotilla 3-9 for the most advanced improved, and also Flotilla 3-9 for the Commodore's Cup for achievements. So a lot of good things that happened that are going to continue to happen in Division III. Everybody has bumped along the roadway, but you make the best of it and you don't let it stop you. In patrol orders, there's just something come out recently. There's been a change on that. So if you're involved in patrols, that should have come out today. And that was from Bosun. So make certain you go over that. And it talks about hours where you can't go over 8 hours. And with the new AUX data system, DSX and Master Chief is looking over these patrol orders when they come in quite closely now. It's much easier to look at and trace and do something about than it was with the old system. Remember to wear your PPE gear if you go out and do something. Face mask, social distance, gloves, hand sanitizers, washing hands. These are the things that are going to help keep everybody safe. We're pretty fortunate here within the district. Our Chief of Staff, Pat McMillan, and myself, the commander, and the OTO got together and worked on what we thought we could get the district open to. We've done a pretty good job with everything except face-to-face meetings. And we have many other districts, such as One Northern, they're still 100% shut down. They can't do anything. So we're very fortunate in this area to be able to do a lot of things we have, and that's because of a lot of work in the backgrounds. To the new bridges that's coming in, congratulations. And I wish you the best for a great new year, but remember to take care of your members. Without your members, we really don't have an organization. Use the chain of leadership. Yeah, I know you get tired of hearing it, but that's one of the big things that we keep getting problems with is following the correct chain of leadership. I also like to wish season's greetings to everybody and wish you all fantastic holidays. And again, I wish and hope and pray that we have a much better 2021 than we've had in 2020. With that, thank you so much, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Commodore. And for those that do not know, the auxiliary, for the most part, has its leadership elected every year. And the staff appointed by those leaders serve at their pleasure for a one-year term. The 2020 elected and staff officers for Division III are myself as Division Commander, Vice Division Commander Mark Brody, Immediate Past Division Commander Robert Sherman, Flotilla 3-2 Commander Kevin Sattler, Flotilla 3-4 Commander Bruce Freed, Flotilla 3-6 Commander Michael Byer, Flotilla 3-7 Commander Carlos Arenas, Flotilla 3-8 Commander David Scott, Flotilla 3-9 Commander Irving Gilbart, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-2 Howard Barash, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-4 John Doyle, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-6 Rafael Baez, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-7 George Kozel, and Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-8 Jody Cassidy, and Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-9 Terry Frazier. The 2020 Division Staff Officers for Division III are Simone Narducci for Sea Scouts, Edward Quintella for Communications, Miguel Minervini for Computer Services, Carolina Figueras for Diversity, Gail Edelman for Finance, John Narducci for Human Resources and Public Education, Jane Sabal for Information Services, David Lee for Materials, Robert Corbett for Member Training, Mark Brody for Operations, Ray Antorcha for Public Affairs, Barbara Dombrowski for Publications, Tracy Antorcha for Program Visitation, Bruno Berti for Vessel Examinations, and Cindy Whitson for Secretary. Now, I wanted to make sure that each and every officer in this division is recognized because I can't do my job without every one of you, and I want to thank you for your willingness to serve. So, as we approach the end of the term, the leadership and staff shall be dismissed from their office today by Lieutenant Raymond Milne, the commanding officer of Station Fort Lauderdale, and say a few words. Lieutenant?
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you everyone else. Good evening, Captain Burdian, Commander Briggs, and the AUX Flotilla Division III staff. It's great to be a part of this. I'm glad we were able to put this on today. It's a unique time for everyone, but I think found our new way, and we've found different ways to do things to still accomplish the mission. The partnership between active duty and auxiliary will continue to grow. We're hopeful that this partnership in 2021 will be back to normal here soon enough. And we really look forward to it on the active duty side. We've missed having everyone aboard and having those monthly meetings. So the camaraderie that is all a part of the auxiliary and active duty. So I really appreciate this time with everyone. I look forward to hopefully seeing Mark Brody in his boat in the boat slip here soon enough, and joining our crew and doing some drills. I know that's something that the crew really enjoys, and just having that normal everyday conversation. Thank you to everyone participating tonight, and thank you for being a part of it. Without further ado, flotilla commanders, vice flotilla commanders, and division staff officers, on behalf of the Coast Guard and Coast Guard Auxiliary, thank you for serving your country, your community, shipmates over the past year. You are hereby dismissed of your duties of your offices. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Lieutenant, for helping to dismiss our 2020 officers. Good to see you, at least virtually. Okay, so back in the good old days of 2019, I had the opportunity to see Captain Burdian's change of command, and I also made sure to let her know that she was invited to visit Division 3 at any time. Well, I guess it virtually counts, right? So next will be the installation of the 2021 Division Commander and Vice Division Commander. And to do that, Mark Brody and I have the honor of Captain Burdian to install the two of us.
Thank you,
Captain.
Jeff. Oh, can you hear me? Is that okay?
Very good.
All right, I did it. I didn't break anything just yet. I'm amazed, Jeff. You said you had a prompter. I have my phone propped up on a Christmas decoration, and my 13-year-old brought me a glass of water. So I think that's as good as it's going to get here at Casa Burdian here this afternoon. I'm just hopeful you can't hear my husband using his power tools in the garage. But I'm so very, very grateful to have been invited and to be included here this evening. And Jeff, what an amazing program you've put on. Just so professional and such a smooth way to go about things. Lieutenant Milne, you're absolutely right. Like, this is unique for all of us. This is a new way ahead. But you know, my watchwords to the active duty workforce, and really to all of you, is they're think big, act fast, and own it. And honestly, no cadre of Coast Guard personnel, no group of folks has embraced those watchwords more succinctly than you and the Coast Guard Auxiliary. I'm so deeply grateful for the work that you do. For those of you who I haven't had the opportunity to meet, and I apologize, we're about halfway through my tour, that this may be our first meeting for some of us here. I'll ask you not to say this to the to the other flotillas, but I'm like a Flotilla 3 hometown girl. I graduated from Piper High School. I lived in Broward County as a teenager. I grew up in New York City. My dad was a cop. My mom didn't work, and we moved to Nob Hill Road and Commercial Boulevard when I was a freshman in high school. So that, my parents were looking for a way to give us a better opportunity to go to college and succeed in life, my sister and I, and so we came to Broward County. So, Flotilla 3 and your AOR really is so near and dear to my heart. Last night, I was lucky enough to be honored by Broward Schools and inducted into their Hall of Fame. And when I talked about the women and men who serve our Coast Guard, the number I said was 2,000. Because I'm not just talking about active duty. I'm not just talking about reserves and civilians. I include you, this amazing group of auxiliary volunteers, as a heart and soul of Sector Miami, and a really, really important part of the work we do to maintain safety and security, to protect the marine environment and facilitate commerce here. And I think if you were to say in some circles, well, our Coast Guard Auxiliary, helped us initially by outfitting us all with cloth face masks. That might sound trivial, but there was a time where that was absolutely the most important thing to me and my command. And I hope everyone got their thank you notes, because it was so very, very important to all of us, on top of, our Oxlow at the sector wrote down just a hot page of details, 37,000 hours of, boat hours and training and qualifications and joint certifications and, all that meat and potatoes work we do together to maintain our certifications and connect ourselves, active duty, reserve, and auxiliary. But again, thinking back to my watchwords, when we needed a group of folks to step in and just get something done to keep us safe, healthy, and whole, it was our Coast Guard Auxiliarists. And so for that, I am so very deeply grateful. And I'll also mention, and Jeff, I know you'll mute me when when you've had it, but I thought this is when I was supposed to do my keynote, so I'm just going to do it. But, I also have to express my deepest and warmest thanks for our auxiliary chaplains. Chaplain Braswell, who I was so very honored, gave the invocation at my change of command. But, we suffered a real tragedy last spring on the active duty side of the house. We had a crew member who elected to take their own life in May. And when I decided that, we had kind of had enough and needed to take a real serious, mature approach to the whole person health of our workforce, it was our auxiliary chaplains who stepped in and provided every manner of ministry to our workforce to help us get through that crisis emotionally as people and as professionals. But then, to figure out a way ahead and help us stand up our Rule 6 program, which you are all welcome to join. Every last Thursday of the month is a Rule 6 day at Sector Miami, where we examine issues of emotional hygiene and resilience and mental health. And we're kind of all in this together, and we're all fatigued. So I would invite all of you to participate in those events, and really just wanted to say thank you to all of our auxiliary chaplains, but in particular to Chaplain Braswell, who is always available and visible in his support for us all as people and as Coast Guardsmen. So I hope you all had a joyous, restful Thanksgiving, and that you're planning just a warm, loving holiday season with your families, with your community, with your church, with whomever it is that makes you whole. And please know that the work you do is really important to me. I'm deeply grateful for it. And I feel so very lucky to be serving alongside you. And with that, I think we're ready for some installations. Okay. You have offered your talents and services in the interest of a better Coast Guard Auxiliary. The pledge you're about to take admits you to an office of greater responsibility and high honor. Along with this honor, you must be prepared to accept certain obligations as well as the administrative and supervisory responsibilities of your office. Your task is to develop the auxiliary programs to the maximum efficiency that conditions permit. You're expected to promote closer liaison between the auxiliary and local Coast Guard units, constantly reminding auxiliarists that their actions reflect not only on the auxiliary, but also on the Coast Guard. As a leader, you're charged with maintaining high standards in all auxiliary programs and activities, never compromising honesty and integrity. With full realization of the demands of your office in terms of time, travel, and dedication, if you're willing to accept this honor, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. And this is for Jeff Barnes and Mark Brody. I state your name.
I'm Mark Brody.
Jeff Barnes.
do solemnly and sincerely pledge myself
Do solemnly
and sincerely pledge myself
myself
to support the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and its purposes,
to
to
support the United
United States
Coast
Coast
Guard
Guard Auxiliary and its purposes,
to promote its authorized activities,
to promote its authorized activities,
to properly discharge the duties of my office,
to properly discharge
the duties
the
of my
duties of my office,
and to abide by the governing policies
and to abide by the
governing
policies
established by the Commandant of the United States Coast Guard.
established by the Commandant
Commandant
of the
of
United
the
States
United
Coast
States
Guard.
Coast Guard.
Congratulations to you both.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
See, and this is the point at which I admit, had I been more fastidious in my reading of Jeff's email, I would have said, then you transition to your keynote at the bottom of that whole paragraph. So, but that gives me an opportunity to take an additional liberty and thank, I can't scroll around enough to make sure that she's on here. I saw her earlier, but to thank Andrea Rutherford for the extraordinary work she does directly for us at Sector Proper to support the linkage between active duty and auxiliary programs and really just maintain and create those direct and continuous comms. I'm not sure what we'll do without you, Andrea, at our biweekly staff meetings and in the office and on the monthly all hands. You are an amazing person and have been such an important part of the command team. I'm so very, very grateful for the time we've had together. So I think going back to, I'm great at task direction usually, receiving, not giving. But we've got some awards, which is the best part of any command job. And this Auxcom, this is for me to read, Jeff?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Auxiliarist David M. Scott.
Hi, Captain.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Captain.
This is normally where I would say attention to award. The award of the Auxiliary Commendation Medal. Mr. Scott is cited for outstanding achievement while serving as a District Commodore Administrative Assistant Awards Coordinator from January 2019 to September 2020. Exhibiting exceptional competence and professionalism, Mr. Scott was instrumental in providing administrative support and leadership to the District 7 awards writing team. His responsibilities included assigning each request award to a team writer, reviewing all forms and citations, tracking the progress of each award, and ensuring all awards were promptly, accurately entered into member personnel files. His superior communication and organizational skills were evident as he worked closely with each auxiliary sector liaison officer to coordinate award tracking. As a result of his diligence and persistence, deserving auxiliarists received formal recognition for their accomplishments. Mr. Scott continually monitored the entire award writing process, promptly advising team members and the Commodore of suggested changes and improvements that would enhance efficiency. Despite the time-consuming nature of this position, he served concurrently as commander of Flotilla 3-8, providing superior guidance and direction to its 51 members. Mr. Scott's dedication, judgment, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard and the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. Congratulations.
Thank you, Captain.
Okay, Auxiliarist Tracy Antorcha. Are you on the line, Miss Antorcha? Yes, I'm seeing. Yes, okay. Attention. Good evening, ma'am. From Commandant to Ms. Tracy R. Antorcha, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. Subject, Auxiliary Commandant's Letter of Commendation. I note with pride and am pleased to commend you for your performance of duty as Flotilla Staff Officer, Recreational Boating Safety Program Visitation from January 2019 to December 2020. During this time, you demonstrated inspirational leadership and broad administrative skills while guiding flotilla program visitors through a varied and extensive operational period. You actively promoted boating safety by recruiting and training new program visitors, establishing new relationships with program partners, and identifying opportunities to increase boating safety awareness in the community. Under your outstanding direction, Flotilla 38 increased the number of marine dealer visits by more than 300% over previous years. Displaying initiative, enthusiasm, and a true passion for reducing boating accidents and fatalities in the local area, you inspired your fellow public affairs, public education, vessel examination, and human resource staff officers to vigorously promote boating safety. Your dedication to duty was evident in the nearly 2,000 hours you devoted to the Coast Guard Auxiliary, including more than 217 marine dealer visits and 125 vessel safety checks. For your efforts, you were awarded the Recreational Boating Safety Device. You proudly represented Flotilla 38 at major Coast Guard Auxiliary and Coast Guard functions, and you served as a superior model of auxiliary initiative and leadership. You are commended for your outstanding performance of duty. By your meritorious service, you have upheld the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. You are hereby authorized to wear the Auxiliary Commandant's Letter of Commendation Ribbon Bar for the Commandant, J.F. Burdian, Captain, U.S. Coast Guard Commander, Coast Guard Sector, Miami. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I'm not sure if y'all saw the Commandant recently spoke to, I can't remember if it was Navy Times or Military Times, but SAR is up 12%. And boy, if any of y'all are, I know you're out on the water, it's unprecedented, just the volume of boating activities. So your work is absolutely vital. Mr. Ramiro Antorcha, are you on the line?
Unmute yourself.
Yes, Captain.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Captain.
From Commandant to Mr. Ramiro J. Antorcha Jr., U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. I note with pride and am pleased to commend you for your performance of duty as Flotilla Staff Officer Diversity from January 2019 to December 2020. Demonstrating exceptional dedication and commitment, you monitored and measured the 24 required elements of diversity, particularly the metrics for participation, recruitment, and retention, to keep the flotilla bridge focused on activities and missions to achieve the requisite goals and objectives for excellence in diversity management. As a result of your extraordinary efforts, Flotilla 38 was awarded the 3-star award for diversity. You mentored new members via one-on-one phone calls, personal meetings, and countless emails, and utilized real-life situations to instruct and guide members by highlighting the benefits of diversity and encouraging members to lead by example. Your zeal for expanding the demographic, social, and cultural diversity of the Coast Guard energized you to deliver over 1,800 hours of your own volunteer time, during which you served simultaneously as Flotilla Staff Officer for Vessel Examinations and Division Staff Officer for Public Affairs. You proudly represented Flotilla 38 at major Coast Guard auxiliary and Coast Guard functions, and you served as a superior model of auxiliary initiative and leadership. Your exceptional enthusiasm set the standard amongst your shipmates by your exemplary adherence to the Coast Guard values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty. You're commended for your outstanding performance of duty. By your meritorious service, you have upheld the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. You are hereby authorized to wear the Auxiliary Commandant's Letter of Commendation Bar for the Commandant, J.F. Burdian, Captain, U.S. Coast Guard Commander, Coast Guard Sector, Miami. Congratulations.
Thank you, Captain.
Yay.
Well done. Am I fired, Jeff? Am I finished? Am I done?
I think we'll keep you at least for another year. So.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so very, very much again. This really has been one of the highlights for me is getting to know y'all. I know I have met all of you, but just watching you think big, act fast, and own it. You set an example for us all. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you so much, Captain Burdian. Appreciate your time, and I know it's on a Saturday. Taking away his time from your family is a big deal, and we all really appreciate it. So now it is time to install our staff officers for the 2021 term. The 2021 staff officers for Division 3 are Simone Narducci for Sea Scouts, Edward Quintella for Communications, Miguel Minervini for Computer Services, Carolina Figueres for Diversity, Gail Edelman for Finance, George Thorne for Human Resources, Jane Saboff for Information Services, David Lee for Materials, Robert Corbett for Member Training, Mark Brody for Operations, Michael Gonzalez for Public Affairs, John Narducci for Public Education, Barbara Dombrowski for Publications, Jerry Edelman for Program Visitation, Bruno Berti for Vessel Examinations, and Cindy Whitson for Secretary. And here to make that happen is someone that I've only recently gotten to know. Commodore Pat McMenamin is our newly installed leader for District 7. She served as Chief of Staff for over the last couple of years, but lately she's been hunkered down in Georgia. However, as we have all been spending way more time at home, Commodore McMenamin has diligently stayed in touch with as many members as possible while attending as many flotilla meetings that she is able to. She's already made a huge impression as a leader, and she wants to be engaged and keep us semper paratus for the missions that will inevitably move forward. Here to install the 2021 Division Staff Officers and offer her remarks is Commodore McMenamin.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate being asked to participate today. Captain Bertien, I'm glad you could join us today, along with Commander Briggs and Lieutenant Milne. Appreciate all of you giving your weekend time to make this change of watch a nice affair for them. They definitely deserve it. Jeff, you and your staff officers, the incoming as well as the outgoing, have done an outstanding job this past year. As Commodore Barth mentioned, with the restraints that were put on us, it did not slow you down for long. You guys found ways to get out and get things done. Captain Bertien had mentioned the 37,000 hours that your division had put in, the number of PVs and VEs, the Coast Guard ops. I mean, your member training hours were outstanding this year. We asked that you helped keep your people engaged, and you did that, especially with the member training hours and the ops training. So we really appreciate all that you did. So that being said, I'm not going to read the prologue again since we've already done that, but I will ask that the incoming officers unmute themselves. Give them a minute to do that. All right. With the full realization of demands of your office on time, travel, and dedication, if you are willing to accept this honor, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Carolina Pereira,
Do solemnly and sincerely pledge myself
Do solemnly and sincerely pledge myself
to support the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and its purposes,
to support the United States Coast Guard
Auxiliary and its purpose,
to promote its authorized activities,
to
promote
authorized
activities,
to properly discharge the duties of my office,
properly discharge the duties of my
my
office,
office,
and to abide by the governing policies
and to abide by the governing policies
established by the Commandant of the United States Coast Guard.
established by the Commandant of the United States Coast Guard.
Congratulations, everyone. I look forward to a banner year again. Things will get better. It's just we have to still ride this out for a while longer. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, but in the meantime, we cannot let our guard down. We still need to continue to wear the PPE when we're out of our homes and make sure that we remain safe. So, Jeff, thank you again for inviting me, and I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Commodore. It's a pleasure, and look forward to a great year in our district. Now it is time to install our elected officers for the 2021 term. The 2021 elected officers for Division 3 are Flotilla 3-4 Commander John Doyle, Flotilla 3-6 Commander Rafael Baez, Flotilla 3-7 Commander Carlos Arenas, Flotilla 3-8 Commander David Scott, Flotilla 3-9 Commander Carolina Figueres, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-4 Barbara Kaufman, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-6 Philip Petito, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-7 Edward Quintela, Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 3-8 Miguel Minervini, and Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 39, and this always gets stuck on me right here, Christina Rodriguez. Stand by a moment. All right, and today we have the pleasure of having our Director of Auxiliary to install those officers. Now, administrating the auxiliary is no easy task, especially a district as big and diverse as D7. Commander Briggs has not only accepted that challenge, but has been able to do what many other districts has not. With his help, District 7 has been able to fulfill many of its missions through the pandemic. As a testimony to his belief in what the auxiliary can do while doing it safely. Here for our installation of the 2021 Flotilla Commanders and Vice Flotilla Commanders is Commander John Briggs.
Thank you, Jeff, and good evening, everyone. Of course, it is an honor to be here, and this is my first one of the year, so I'm excited about that too, and looking forward to the other 16 that we have waiting for us here. I think I missed one last night, though, didn't I? I was still, no, that was yesterday morning, I guess, with Division 5. Yeah, so we're Flotilla Commanders and Vice Flotilla Commanders, if you could unmute, and we'll move forward. The prologue and the pledge has been said, so we'll skip that. And moving forward with the full realization of the demands of your office in terms of time, travel, and dedication. If you're willing to accept this honor, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
do solemnly and sincerely pledge myself
Do solemnly and sincerely pledge myself
to support the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and its purposes,
to support the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and its purposes,
to promote its authorized activities,
to promote its authorized activities,
to properly discharge the duties of my office,
to properly discharge
the duties of my office,
and to abide by the governing policies
and to abide by the governing
policies
established by the Commandant
established by the Commandant
of the United States Coast Guard.
of the United States Coast Guard.
All right, congratulations, folks.
Thank you.
And
All right.
Jeff, back to you.
All right, thank you. So we'll be hearing from you in just a few minutes, Commander. For me, the first thing I like to do in my presentation is to present Flotilla 39 with a very special award that they should all be very proud of. So I'm going to grab this plaque here real quick. So if you can see here, we have this awesome plaque that is going to be hanging over at the station at some point. And Lieutenant Milne and I had a little discussion before the meeting today, and we're looking for a good place to put the Flotilla awards over at the station. And as you can see here, United States Coast Guard Flotilla Meritorious Achievement Medal, Flotilla 39, Dania, Florida, 7th Coast Guard District Auxiliary, in recognition of providing the most significant contributions to auxiliary programs by a flotilla during 2019. So for all of those members that were in membership at Flotilla 39 in 2019, you get to wear this green and silver bar on your rack. So make sure that if you don't have those in stock, I'll make sure that Carolina will get those to you, and we'll figure that out. So congratulations, Flotilla 39. And you know what? It's only been, what, 2 years that the flotilla has been chartered? So
Yay!
that says a lot. And I'm really proud of everyone, all the members there. And I know it's just going to keep going like wildfire over there at 39. I also like to present a certificate to Flotilla 38 for a huge milestone that was reached this year. So I want to get this little puppy out. All right,
Brody's speech.
So we got here, the Coast Guard Auxiliary is proud to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Flotilla 38 in Plantation, Florida, chartered by the Commander, 7th District, United States Coast Guard, Miami, Florida, August 11th, 1970. So I will be sending this over to Mr. David Scott. And as well, there's a letter from the commander of the district included as well, a little note from him. So congratulations on 50 years. So service before self. This is the, I'm gonna show you this little rock that I made. You can see it, it says service before self. And this was made in one of my leadership classes. And so I have it on the top of my little piano that's sitting downstairs in the foyer of my house. And so I pass by it all the time. And so it reminds me that what I do, what we all do, is bigger than any of us. If you're a member of this organization, you are here because you want to be of service. One person in particular that this is infused in his brain is my partner in crime, Vice Division Commander Mark Brody. I could not think of a better partner in this service. And we talk about just about every day, and if not multiple times a day. And I just want to take a moment to thank him for being a fantastic example of a United States Coast Guard auxiliarist. But let's for a moment look forward. I see a vacuum of leadership in the not so distant future. We need to see the future leaders of this organization begin to take that first step, to listen to that voice inside that's saying, you know, you can do this. And one of those people is Tracy Antorcha. In fact, I have a special presentation for her. Just to add some more bling to your RBS device. So Tracy, I have you've acquired your OxOps and you have OxOps status. So congratulations, Stacy.
Wow.
I will be sending this directly to your location in Port Canaveral. So you do have your little button you can place up here above your name tag. So I will be sending that to you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's a lot of hard work. So that's a lot of classes to take. It takes a lot of time. That's what we call our PhD of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. I have another OxOps presentation for a member that has served her community for many years in the Hollywood Police Department and continuing that service in the auxiliary. Our newest Vice Flotilla Commander for Flotilla 39, Christina Rodriguez, is now also eligible and has her OxOps pin as well. Are you on here tonight, Christina?
She's on, Jeff.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, so I will be sending this over to Carolina, and so she, or I'm depending when you see each other, but I may just send it straight to you. If that's okay with Carolina, I'll talk to her about that.
Thank you very much.
So congratulations there. Another member that I call my rock star that I want to recognize, and she's already been talked about on this meeting already, is Jane Sabah. In no more than a year, she has been trained and certified in Aux Data, became our IS officer, learned Aux Data 2, and has been training us ever since. She's been that digital glue that has been keeping us together. So thanks again, Jane, for what you've been doing, and I know I think you've had a good time and fun time learning all this new stuff and keeping us abreast of all the new things that have been happening in Aux Data and how to keep us, how to get the hours going, how to keep our patrol orders in line. So thank you so much. It's been fantastic to have you on board. So now, speaking of numbers, our hours are at almost, and as Captain Brody mentioned, almost 38,000 hours. That's pretty good considering the year we've had. Moreover, our membership has been pretty steady between retirements, disenrollments, and yes, unfortunately, the disestablishment of Flotilla 3-2. But the amount of interest from potential recruits has been great. There are times that our HR officers are scrambling to get recruits signed up, and that's a good thing. One of those that signed on only a little more than a year ago is Miguel Minervini. I don't know where he gets the time to do what he does, but he has such a passion for this organization And I'm hoping that in his new vice commander role, that passion will become even more infectious. I also want to point out something special that has happened in our division. Flotilla 39 will constitute our first all-female bridge. Now, that's woman power right there. And with the explosion of transfers and new members to that unit, I'm expecting to see big things. But the success of Flotilla 39 in 2020 can't be mentioned without Vice Flotilla Commander Terry Frazier. Throughout this year, she has stepped in and stepped up to make sure Flotilla 39 was as successful as it was. Bravo Zulu to you, Terry, for a job well done. So,
Thank you, Jeff.
you're more than welcome. And what's next? I'm welcoming 2021 with open arms and expecting our missions to move full force. VSC stickers are on the way, and that means protecting our recreational boaters. Boating America classes will continue to be online and hopefully, we'll see, face-to-face in 21. As the captain mentioned, it's vital now more than ever to be engaged with the boating public. More vessels have been purchased this year than ever before, and it's our responsibility to guide those operators with safe boating skills. Finally, I want to thank every member of Division 3 for your service, and I'm honored to be your division commander for another year. Mark, do you have any comments?
Thanks, Jeff. I would just like to thank everybody, all the staff officers, especially Miguel with his work on the division website, which makes it so much easier for new members and even existing members to get to where they need to be, to get through their BQ, to get through their core training. It really makes a difference, Miguel.
Thank you,
without
Mark.
your assistance, you made my job so much easier this year by working
pleasure.
together.
My
I know
pleasure.
some days we spoke numerous times to get things done. Again, I can't thank you enough. Jane, your job is IS, again, working together to get reports, to get things done, to get things through the help desk. Again, thank you so much. And Cindy, our secretary, for doing all the postings to the calendars, for all the events, for all the meetings, for all the hard work you do, for all the cards you send out to people, for all the kindness in your heart. I thank you also for everything. One thing I want to mention is with the 3-9 award, since I was the flotilla commander for that, I just want to mention so everybody knows, there were 20 chartered members that worked diligently to put this together. We started out with 20, we're now close to 50. It took a lot of hard work from a lot of people. And the one person, unfortunately, that's not here tonight to did all that work is Bob Sherman. And I think everybody here knows how close I am with Bob. And unfortunately, what Jeff said, he has taken a turn for the worse. And he should hopefully be home where he'll be comfortable, hopefully sometime in the middle of this week. So I'm asking everybody, if you want to send something to Bob's house, just a car to get whatever, something that might bring him out of and cheer him up a little bit, please send a card, whatever you can do to help out there. I know Stacy's going to have her hands full with this, and it's going to be, you know, a very difficult time for them. So, but the rest of that with 3-9, I just want to thank everybody for all their dedication. We would have never taken that award the way we did. I'm very excited about the ladies taking over. I've been pushing for that. It's very exciting for me to turn that flotilla over to the ladies and take that load off my back. Terry did a great job, as Jeff mentioned, as vice. And Jeff, it's been great working with you side by side every day, as you mentioned. I know sometimes we talk 3-4 times a day, but somehow we make it work. So, and the rest of the staff officers, I thank also. I know I can't mention everybody, but Tracy, you know, you guys did a great job. Both of you, husband and wife team, magnificent, and everybody else. So I just want to say thank you once again. It's been a very difficult year, but we make it work. And please have a great holiday and please stay safe. Thanks so much.
All right, well, thanks, Mark. And to wrap up the evening, remarks and an award from Commander Briggs. Commander Briggs, are you with us?
Still muted, Commander. Commander, you're still on mute.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Got it.
There we go.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but since we're talking about faux pas here on Zoom, my image was mirrored and I couldn't figure out why my ribbons and name tags were on the wrong side. I kept looking down going, nope, they're on the right side. So anyways, just if you ever run into that, that was interesting. Okay, again, thanks, Jeff. And I'll move ahead with this award. And this is for Miss Andrea Rutherford. Front and center, please. And attention to award. Citation to accompany the award of the Auxiliary Achievement Medal to Miss Andrea J. Rutherford, United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. Ms. Rutherford is cited for superior performance of duty while serving as Auxiliary Sector Coordinator, Miami, from January 2019 to December 2020. Working closely with the District Commodore, Ms. Rutherford established, developed, and supported a constructive and cooperative relationship between the Coast Guard Auxiliary and Coast Guard Sector Miami. Utilizing comprehensive measures, she closely monitored auxiliary readiness in an effort to improve performance in support of sector needs. Coordinating a full range of contingency planning across all auxiliary components, she kept the District Commodore informed by addressing key operational requirements and needs in support of the sector. Ms. Rutherford also ensured sector awareness of auxiliary capabilities as well as auxiliary training and support needs. Additionally, she was active in the gap analysis report, keeping vigil over sector needs and available auxiliary resources while providing timely data updates. Furthermore, she actively promoted marine safety and environmental protection goals and objectives. Ms. Rutherford's diligence, perseverance, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard and the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. Congratulations.
Commander. For your
Yes.
kind words, Captain Verdian, as well. Thank you. It's been an honor.
You bet. That's it's Andrea. We've been really glad to have you there, and ever since you showed up in the office last year, and you were able to sort of give us a bird's eye view, I guess, of what was going on there and some of the issues you had. It's been fantastic for everyone in the office to be able to have a better understanding of the challenges you guys face and how we can help you. So yes, thank you again. And I'm sure the captain already mentioned your name. So you've been doing wonderful things from her point of view also.
Thank you, Commander.
Good, Jeff. And so you want me to just finish up here with some comments. I see you left me about 2 minutes to keep it at the hour mark. So that ought to work. Like I said before, I'm honored to be here to recognize the accomplishments both of Division III and really the efforts of the auxiliary across the district as a whole. Of course, I'd like to point out the exceptional leadership that Jeff, you and your staff have provided Division III over the past year. All of you should be proud of the accomplishments achieved. We've heard many of them from the Commodore to Captain mentioning how many different accomplishments there's been. And if it's not the accomplishments, it's the professional achievements that you've built over the year of this distinguished volunteer service period. Those relationships are essential. I've learned to realize here between the auxiliary and the Coast Guard, obviously, but we can see it from my point of view where there isn't a connection with somebody in Andrea's job. It's a noticeable difference in the amount of interactivity we see. But by and large, it remains the leadership and commitment of you, the people who make all of these accomplishments possible. The myriad of activities conducted over the past year are a testament to the skills and dedication of all of the fine men and women that are serving there in Division 3. Your voluntary contributions could not come at a more crucial time. I mean, geez, we're battling this global pandemic. There's financial uncertainty for many people, and the economic conditions are not the greatest either. And all of this is contributing to a reduction in safety readiness by some of our mariners, not to mention all the new ones that have been brought up already. But those daily stressors, man, they're going to stretch our active and reserve elements thinly across all the mission sets of the Coast Guard. And knowing that you guys are there to provide a buffer, knowing that there's volunteers like the members of Division 3 that are trained and ready and willing, that I think that it reduces the strain on the Coast Guard as a whole. And I'd like to tell you guys too that I'm really proud to be part of the auxiliary. My staff and I look forward to helping the Aux continue to move forward in a positive direction across the district. During my remaining tenure here, the office and we plan to really work with leadership, both at the district and headquarters level, to try to knock down any roadblocks that we run into, whether they're administrative, operational, logistical. That's one of our main points there in the office. But we also want to continue to expand the mission, the Aux mission, where the needs arise. And I think you guys are probably aware of a few of the examples that are out there, whether it's the Coast Guard recruiting support, the Aux Paddle program, which has been recently gotten off the ground, both ashore, obviously, and afloat, and the Aux Scout program. So these are essential programs, I think, to keeping the auxiliary engaged with the public and with the new fads that are out there, if you will. And my office is also planning to continue to put forth a focus on mission safety. With all this being said, obviously that's pretty important, whether, again, you're afloat, ashore, or airborne. So, Mr. Barnes, it's been a pleasure to serve as your director. I look forward to continued distinguished service with the auxiliary, to your distinguished service with the auxiliary, I should say. I'm sure your knowledge, experience, professionalism will continue to be invaluable to all who have the pleasure of working with you. And you and your members of Division 3 have set precedents for success within the district. And I know you'll continue to build on the progress of this past year. I urge you to be ambitious as you continue to lead this impressive division, despite what we've been talking about with the COVID and whatnot. I hope that by springtime we're coming out of that and we need to be ready to move forward. I know your division is full of enthusiastic and professional members, and my charge to you is to cultivate that enthusiasm and desire to serve. So I won't say it's not going to be challenging, because it will be, but it'll be rewarding also. And ask you to take care of your people, and I think your people will take care of you. So I have no doubt that you and your crew will add to the growing legacy of Division 3. And congratulations, and thank you all for your service. That's all I have. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your kind words, Commander. And that is all for tonight. And I'd like to thank all of our presenters. This will be posted on YouTube. I just created a new channel for the division, so we could put things like this up there that's appropriate to be public. And I will be sending the link out shortly. So on that note, for anyone, so you can use that link for anything that you want to share to other divisions and districts. So stay safe on your drive home. Don't forget to tip your waiters, and stay Semper Paratus. Good night.